In recent months, a truly unique situation has begun to develop around one of Tesla's most ambitious projects. While the attention of millions of people around the world is focused on the development of artificial intelligence, Optimus robots, and Elon Musk's new projects, behind the scenes, a technology is rapidly approaching launch that could change the daily lives of billions of people even more than electric vehicles did. We are talking about Tesla's fully autonomous robo-taxi transportation service, which in recent years has been considered one of the company's most anticipated and at the same time most controversial projects. After many years of development, testing, and endless debates between Tesla supporters and critics, new details have finally begun to emerge about how close the company has come to the commercial launch of its autonomous transportation system. According to Elon Musk, the project is in the final stages of preparation, which means that the first full-scale deployments of the service could begin very soon. And although many analysts considered such statements overly optimistic several years ago, the situation today looks completely different. Several major publications, including Bloomberg, Reuters, The Wall Street Journal, and Financial Times, have recently been paying special attention to Tesla's autonomous driving efforts. The reason is simple. If the company really manages to launch a fully autonomous transportation service without a human driver, the consequences for the global economy could be comparable to the emergence of smartphones or the internet. Essentially, Tesla is trying to solve a problem that the largest technology companies on the planet have been working on. For many years, hundreds of billions of dollars have been invested into the development of autonomous vehicles. The world's largest corporations have been working on similar technologies. However, Tesla today appears to be one of the leading candidates for bringing autonomous transportation into mass adoption. The main idea behind the project seems remarkably simple. Imagine a city of the future where people no longer need to own their own cars. Instead, they simply open an app, press one button, and within minutes a fully autonomous vehicle arrives. There is no driver inside the car. There is no need to pay for parking. There is no need to worry about insurance, maintenance, or repairs. Artificial intelligence independently delivers the passenger to the desired destination. But behind this simple concept lies one of the most complex engineering challenges in human history. According to information that has repeatedly appeared in Tesla statements and analytical reports, the foundation of robo-taxi is a new version of the full self-driving system. This software platform is considered the company's main asset in the race for autonomous transportation. Unlike many competitors, Tesla is relying primarily on cameras and neural networks, bringing the vehicle's perception system as close as possible to the way humans perceive the surrounding world. Many experts consider this approach risky. Others, on the contrary, believe it is the only possible way to scale the technology to millions of vehicles. According to Tesla supporters, the use of expensive LiDARs and complex additional equipment makes mass adoption too costly. Tesla, however, aims to create a system that can be installed on literally millions of cars around the world. Today, particular attention is being paid to the design of the future robo-taxi. Although the final specifications remain the subject of discussion, numerous insider leaks and concepts suggest that the vehicle will be significantly different from traditional cars. The main priority will be maximum transportation efficiency. This means optimizing interior space, reducing production costs, and minimizing operating expenses. According to analysts at Morgan Stanley, the cost of a single ride will become Tesla's main weapon in future competitive battles. If traditional taxis require paying for a driver's labor, then in the case of robo-taxi, this factor disappears completely. As a result, the cost of a ride could become significantly lower than existing services. Some experts even predict that the price of a ride in an autonomous taxi could eventually become comparable to the cost of public transportation in major cities. If such a scenario actually becomes reality, the consequences would be enormous. Essentially, it could lead to the largest transformation of the transportation industry in the past 100 years. The taxi market would change, the car-sharing market would change, the personal vehicle market would change, urban infrastructure would change. The very logic of how people move around would change. Imagine a future metropolis. Huge parking lots gradually disappear. Cars no longer remain unused for 23 hours a day. Instead, They operate continuously, transporting passengers. The efficiency of transportation usage increases several times over. Traffic congestion decreases. The need to build new parking facilities decreases. Vast areas within cities are freed up. That is why many economists view robotaxi not simply as a new vehicle, but as a platform capable of changing the structure of the modern urban economy. However, along with enormous opportunities come enormous risks. The main challenge remains regulators. Even if Tesla proves the absolute safety of its system tomorrow, the company will still have to go through an incredibly complex process of approvals with government authorities in different countries. Every accident involving an autonomous vehicle immediately attracts the attention of global media. Every algorithm error becomes a subject of discussion among politicians, experts, and regulatory agencies. That is why many specialists believe that technological readiness may arrive significantly earlier than the legal readiness of governments to allow mass deployment. Today, this factor is considered one of the biggest obstacles on the path toward a full-scale robotaxi launch. Tesla must not only create a functioning artificial intelligence system, the company must convince authorities that this system is safer than a human driver. This is where the most interesting part of the story begins, because statistics show an unusual trend. With every new software update, autonomous driving performance indicators continue to gradually improve. Millions of kilometers of data are collected by Tesla vehicles every day, allowing neural networks to learn almost in real time. Essentially, the company is building the world's largest collective learning system for vehicles. Every Tesla becomes a source of information for the entire network. Every intersection, every traffic light, every road situation, all of this is transformed into data for training artificial intelligence. If Musk's strategy proves successful, the world may witness the emergence of the first truly global autonomous transportation platform in human history. As Tesla moves closer to launching robotaxi, more and more attention is being drawn to the expected technical specifications of the future platform. Although the company traditionally keeps many details secret until an official presentation, Wall Street analysts, automotive experts, and insiders are already trying to create the most accurate possible picture of what Tesla's first mass-market autonomous transportation system will look like. One of the key advantages of the future robotaxi is expected to be its range. According to estimates from several analytical agencies, including specialists tracking the development of Tesla's battery technologies, the autonomous taxi will need to operate almost around the clock. This requires not only high energy efficiency, but also an extremely fast charging infrastructure. That is why many experts connect the launch of robotaxi with the further expansion of the supercharger network, which is already considered one of the most advanced charging networks in the world. According to several industry specialists, the range of future autonomous taxis could exceed 500 kilometers on a single charge. Some analysts believe that new generations of batteries may allow vehicles to approach the 700-kilometer mark, depending on configuration and operating conditions. For an ordinary user, this may simply seem like an impressive number, but for the robotaxi business model, it has a completely different meaning. The longer a vehicle can operate without charging, the more passengers it can transport per day, and the higher its economic efficiency becomes. This economic factor is Tesla's main argument. If we look at modern taxi services, it becomes clear that a significant portion of the ride cost is connected to paying the driver. When this factor disappears, the entire financial model begins to look completely different. Many investment funds are already building forecasts suggesting that one autonomous Tesla vehicle could generate significantly more revenue for its owner than a traditional personal car throughout its entire operational life. One of the most interesting scenarios is the one Elon Musk has repeatedly mentioned in his presentations. According to this concept, Tesla owners will be able to connect their vehicles to the robotaxi network during the periods when they are not using them. While a person is at home, at work, or on vacation, their car could perform rides for other passengers and generate income. Essentially, the vehicle becomes not just a means of transportation, but a full-fledged asset. Some Tesla supporters call this model Airbnb for cars. Instead of sitting unused in a parking space most of the time, transportation begins to work and generate profit. If such a system is implemented on a large scale, it could completely change the way people think about car ownership. However, along with enormous opportunities come serious questions. One of the most discussed issues is safety. Skeptics constantly point out that even the most advanced artificial intelligence systems can sometimes make mistakes. Urban environments remain extremely complex and unpredictable. Roads include cyclists, pedestrians, children, animals, emergency situations, and dozens of other factors that cannot be completely standardized. That is why Tesla continues to actively improve its neural networks, training them on massive volumes of data. According to analysts, Tesla vehicles have already collected one of the largest real-world driving datasets in human history. Every day, millions of kilometers of driving are transformed into new information used to train artificial intelligence. Insiders claim that particular attention is currently being paid to so-called rare situations. These are considered the most difficult challenges for any autonomous system. Normal road driving has long stopped being a serious problem for modern algorithms. The real difficulty appears when something unexpected happens. For example, an animal suddenly running onto the road, an accident ahead, unusual behavior from other drivers, or extreme weather conditions. According to several experts, working with such scenarios takes up a significant portion of Tesla's resources. The company is aiming to achieve a level of reliability where the probability of a serious error becomes lower than that of the average human driver. At the same time, discussions continue about how significant the impact of robotaxi will be on the global labor market. Today, millions of people around the world work in transportation. Taxi drivers, delivery drivers, couriers, and many other professions are directly connected to vehicle operation. If autonomous systems truly achieve mass adoption, the market could face the largest transformation in recent decades. Some experts warn about the risk of job losses. Others believe that the emergence of new technologies will create entire industries that do not even exist today. History shows that every technological revolution initially causes concern, but later leads to the formation of new professions and new markets. An equally important factor is competition. Despite Tesla's enormous popularity, the company is far from being the only player in the autonomous transportation sector. In different regions of the world, the largest technology companies and automotive manufacturers are developing their own solutions. Many of them are already testing autonomous services in selected cities. However, Tesla supporters point to one fundamental advantage of the company. Unlike most competitors, Tesla has a huge fleet of already existing vehicles equipped with the necessary hardware. This means that potential scaling could happen much faster. Instead of building new specialized fleets, the company could theoretically use millions of vehicles that are already owned by customers. This possibility is attracting particular attention on Wall Street. Some investment analysts believe that if robotaxi launches successfully, Tesla may stop being viewed solely as an automotive manufacturer. The company is increasingly being seen as a technology platform operating at the intersection of artificial intelligence, energy, robotics, and transportation. Another important topic is cost. Insiders believe that Tesla's goal is to make rides as affordable as possible. If the company can significantly reduce the cost per kilometer compared with traditional taxi services, this could become a powerful incentive for users. In that case, many people may give up buying their own vehicles, especially in large cities. For metropolitan areas, this could become a true revolution. Even today, the transportation infrastructure of the world's largest cities is under enormous pressure. Traffic congestion costs economies billions of dollars every year. Autonomous transportation networks could improve road efficiency and reduce the number of empty trips. But there is another aspect that many analysts consider the most important. Robotaxi is only one part of Elon Musk's much broader strategy. More and more experts are beginning to view the project as an element of a future ecosystem, combining artificial intelligence, Optimus robots, autonomous transportation, and Tesla energy systems. Imagine a city of the future where autonomous vehicles transport people, robots perform logistics tasks, and intelligent algorithms coordinate the entire transportation network in real time. This is exactly the kind of future scenario that supporters of the company's long-term strategy increasingly describe. According to industry sources, the next few years could become decisive for the entire autonomous transportation industry. If the first large-scale robotaxi deployments demonstrate high efficiency and safety, other manufacturers will be forced to accelerate their own developments. As a result, a new technological race will begin, comparable in scale to the transition from feature phones to smartphones. That is why many analysts describe the upcoming launch of Tesla Robotaxi not simply as another debut of a new means of transport, but as a potential starting point for the largest transformation of urban mobility in the past 100 years. And if Elon Musk's calculations prove correct, the world may soon witness a moment that years later will be remembered as the beginning of a new transportation era, where the driver becomes as rare as today's telephone booth or film camera. But the more details emerge about robotaxi, the more analysts begin to ask another question. If the technology truly proves successful, what happens next? Many investors today view the launch of autonomous taxis not as the final goal of Tesla, but as the beginning of a much broader process capable of transforming city economics, consumption structures, and even people's lifestyles. According to several research firms, the average personal car is used less than 5% of the time. For the remaining hours and days, it simply sits parked near a home, office, or shopping center. In effect, millions of cars worldwide are highly inefficient assets. They require maintenance, insurance, parking space, and constant expenses, yet most of the time they perform no useful function. Tesla aims to change precisely this model. In the company's vision, the car of the future should be constantly in motion, performing useful work. That is why many experts describe robotaxi not merely as a new transport service, but as an attempt to completely rethink the concept of car ownership itself. According to various forecasts, if the cost of rides truly becomes significantly lower than existing alternatives, many residents of large cities may gradually abandon private car ownership. For younger generations, this could be an especially attractive option. Instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars on purchasing a car, maintenance, insurance, and parking, a person would gain on-demand access to transportation at any time of day or night. Interestingly, such a scenario could reshape not only the automotive market, it could have a profound impact on the real estate sector. Today, when designing residential complexes and business centers, a significant portion of space is allocated to parking. If the need for private cars begins to decline, developers will be able to use that freed-up space in entirely different ways. This could mean more apartments, new public spaces, parks, and commercial facilities. Some urbanists already describe autonomous transport as one of the most promising technologies for modernizing megacities. In theory, an intelligent transportation network could significantly reduce traffic congestion, lower accident rates, and improve the efficiency of road infrastructure. Special attention is given by experts to safety issues. Although accidents are constantly discussed in the media, supporters of autonomous transport point to a simple statistic. Every year, more than 1 million people die on the world's roads. The vast majority of accidents are caused by human factors: fatigue, inattention, speeding, phone use while driving, alcohol, and many other causes that daily lead to tragedies. If artificial intelligence can reduce even a small portion of these incidents, the consequences would be enormous. That is why many researchers believe autonomous driving is not just a commercial project, but potentially one of the most important safety technologies in transportation history. At the same time, Tesla faces significant informational pressure. Every incident involving its vehicles receives enormous public attention. This creates a unique situation in which autonomous systems are held to much higher standards than human drivers. In effect, society is not satisfied with AI being as safe as a human. Many expect it to be significantly safer. That is why the launch of robotaxi requires not only technical readiness, but also a high level of public trust. Tesla must convince millions of people that driverless travel is a normal and safe practice. Insiders report that the company is actively working on the user experience. According to preliminary information, the interface of the future service will be as simple and intuitive as possible. The user will be able to order a ride with just a few taps. The vehicle will independently arrive at the pickup location, identify the passenger, and transport them along the route without any human intervention. Some analysts suggest that Tesla may later integrate robo-taxi with other areas of its business. For example, artificial intelligence could analyze traffic conditions across an entire city and optimize the routes of thousands of vehicles simultaneously. This would reduce waiting times and increase the overall efficiency of the network. Equally interesting is the question of international expansion. Even if the first commercial launches are limited to a few cities in the United States, Tesla's long-term ambitions are clearly much broader. The company views the world's largest metropolitan areas as potential markets for autonomous transport deployment. However, a new challenge arises here. Different countries have significantly different legislation. While authorities in some states are ready to actively support innovation, in others, the approval process may take years. That is why many experts believe that the global rollout of robotaxi will occur gradually, starting with the most favorable regions. Another topic of discussion is competition with public transportation. Some specialists argue that autonomous taxis will not replace subways, trains, and buses, but will instead work alongside them. In this case, robotaxi would become a convenient link between different modes of transport, allowing people to reach their final destination more quickly. Investor interest in the project remains extremely high. Many funds view robo-taxi as one of the key drivers of Tesla's future valuation. In their opinion, if the company manages to prove the viability of the business model, the market could begin to value Tesla very differently from traditional automakers. In recent years, Elon Musk has repeatedly emphasized that the company's long-term value is not defined solely by vehicle production. Increasingly in his statements, the idea appears that Tesla is becoming an artificial intelligence platform. Cars, robots, energy systems, and software are gradually merging into a unified ecosystem. For this reason, many observers consider robotaxi to be a kind of intermediate stage on the way to an even more ambitious future. If autonomous driving becomes mainstream, the next step could be the creation of a fully automated urban infrastructure, where a significant portion of logistics is carried out without human involvement.